Hello, and welcome back to Scientific Biography. Today we're going to be talking about a very important scientist in Marie Curie, who I've labeled the radiant scientist because she worked with radiation, and so subsequently she didn't realize this at the time, but radiant energy. So we'll get talking about her and see what she did for the scientific community and the Earth as a whole. So who was Marie Curie? Well, she was born in Poland in 1867 and during her life became a French citizen. She's the first woman to win the Nobel Prize and the only woman to win it twice. So she's pretty important on that sense, kind of a trailblazer for women scientists. And she's also best known for studying radiation. Like I mentioned earlier, that was kind of her focus as a scientist, working with things that radiation and things that decay and stuff like that. So what exactly is radiation? What is this thing that she was trying to understand? Well, radiation is caused by the decay of atomic nuclei. So atoms, not all of them are 100% stable. And so the ones that are the most unstable, they decay by, sometimes part of their nucleus comes apart. Sometimes they lose neutrons. Sometimes they lose protons. There's lots of different ways that atoms decay. But that's pretty much the gist of it. And radiation is harmful to humans and can cause cancers and other diseases. And that's going to come up again in our little talk about Madame Curie here. So Curie worked with uranium in an attempt to understand why it emitted X-ray-like waves. So recently, right before she really started studying this, scientists had figured out what X-rays were. And so when they were studying this uranium in her lab, they were picking up these X-ray-like waves from this uranium. And so they're trying to figure out why that was happening, because they were able to create uranium in other ways, or not uranium, X-rays in other ways, but they couldn't figure out why this element was doing that. And so her work was kind of the fundamental for understanding radiation, understanding why these elements were doing this. And so in her research, she also managed to discover polonium, which she named after Poland, her homeland, and radium, radiation, right, which were both also radioactive elements, right? So just like uranium, these elements decay over time. Marie Curie died in 1934 at the age of 66, and she died of aplastic anemia, which is caused by overexposure to radiation due to her work. So she was overexposed in her research as a scientist. Ooh, my bad. Too quickly. What happened? I went way too far. Okay. She was overexposed in her researching these radioactive elements like uranium and polonium and radium, but also during World War I, she worked in field hospitals, and so she was exposed via X-rays and stuff like that. So she basically had this buildup of radiation over time, and that led to her death. Here are some of my resources that I used. And then, of course, thank you again for watching and learning more about some fantastic scientists that have contributed to our understanding of the world. If you subscribe and click the bell, you'll be able to know exactly when my new videos are coming out, and you can learn more the moment I have new stuff for you to see. Thanks again for watching. See you soon.